Thanks to all our active patrons who have contributed a lifetime of $100 or more to reach Garuk Dong level status.
Here is the list of those special patrons in order of contributions.
If you would like to support our show, check out the Commander Smiths at patreon.com. Welcome to the Commander Smiths.
We are the Commander Smiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
Hashtag Team Forest Walk.
Oh, God, don't even start with that shit. What? That's not part of it. Yeah. It's funny. I'm wearing Urza's for life at this point. I planned to wear this, but we didn't plan that we were. Well, that's the only shirt that you have at this point.
That's the only shirt I have right
You're
now.
going to get some more here. This is episode 265. And it's a special episode because I'm not drinking and we're not taking Malort, even though we owe lots of Malort at this point.
We do.
I am sponsoring.
Why aren't we?
Sparkling ice is my drink.
That has a little caffeine in it, I think, right?
No, they don't. It's just sparkling water.
Energy thing?
Nope, not energy.
I think it's an energy thing.
It's not energy. There's no energy in this at all. Look at that. Low calorie. Caffeine free. It's not gonna.
You think I can read that?
Yeah, look at that. It's caffeine free.
Actually, that kind of focused nicely, but I don't have my monitor working still, so it's not big enough for me to read. Either way.
Yeah.
So why aren't we taking a shot tonight? No shots? No, you're not even. You're not even drinking.
I'm not even drinking. So
why? You don't have to say.
Well, no, I don't care. I've told everybody. My volleyball team was like, I'm surprised that you said it. It's awfully open about. I'm getting snipped. I'm getting.
I mean, Tom Brady got in trouble for deflating balls, and you're doing it like you're paying for it. Right. So.
Yeah. So I didn't even think about it last week, and I was just like, oh yeah, I could still take Malort shots and all. And then I was like, that's gonna be bad if I'm under the knife and on drugs and stuff. And yeah, so Malort is not in play, no booze or anything. I'm gonna have to trust the old edibles after this to get me to sleep because my brain is gonna be going freaking crazy.
Right.
Not being able to sleep tonight. So, but here is the bonus. We are doing a double episode next week because actually I'm going to be gone. So that's part of the other. Spring break is the following week. So we're going to do a Monday and a Friday episode. So for those of you, we'll be making up those Malort shots. I think, how many weeks do we have to make up here? Oh, and just an update too. As you can see on the chat here, Josh is not dead. Because we ended the episode that we thought Josh was dead or something terrible happened after he took his Malort, but he is alive and kicking, and we got to see him actually take his little shot of Malort, and it was pretty freaking hilarious. Because
it was good. It was good.
The quote, wait. The best quote from Josh is, I would rather take a shot of toilet bowl cleaner than drink that shit again. Josh.
Oh, that's poison. That's poison. We don't want that. That will hurt you. We have 11 total shots. 10 of those are Malort.
Yeah, there was one regular in there.
Jeez. One regular from Kobe.
And we did 4 shots last week, right? So, oh no, but one of them was a freebie for Josh.
One of them was a freebie.
Okay, so
yep.
If we can keep on track with those 4 Malort shots, we by next month we'll be all caught up, right? In 3 weeks, about.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah.
What are we doing today on episode 265, Lowry?
All right. We don't really know. We had a long discussion on what angle are we?
Rare discussion prep beforehand. I don't know why. We did.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that one bit.
What?
I like just rolling in and going, let's do this.
Notes, so blank piece of paper. You just doodle. Oh, Josh, just for Lowry.
No, that's not how that's going. That's not how that's going.
Lowry.
Is it?
It's up to you.
That means 4 tonight for me?
So when he did it, when I was on my proxy time video, he did 30 there. Josh also did that for proxy time. And yes, I did take 4. Because it was 15. It's 15 for both of us. So 10, 10,
Yeah,
and
that'd
10.
be 4 for me.
Oh no, what would it be? What do we even have listed? I think it's
Because 15 is 1 for each of us, which is 2 total.
yeah.
And so double that would be 4.
Yeah. For you. Go for it, Lowry. You can do. You need your brain juice. Just because I can't join you, this is.
I was planning on like enjoying beer tonight. Instead, I shift gears a little bit, I guess.
Well, you have to have your Stump the Smith Savant juice here. So
all right. Well, you get to explain what the segment's going to be. I did not prep my Malort.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go for it.
So it's not.
Okay.
I'll go get that.
All right. So
thanks, Josh. Thanks a ton.
So while Lowry goes to get his I think shot glass is what he has to go get because he I guess cleans it every once in a while. What we are doing today, it's kind of an interesting twist on things. We went with we're kind of doing commanders that can also be for new people and for advanced people. So what we mean by that is, and actually Lowry had a really good way of spinning this, the title of this. Lowry, I was complimenting you. I know it's rare, but I'm complimenting you. Decks that you can, what was it, grow with? How did we write that? That was start and end with.
That's kind of what it is.
Start and end with. So not saying that as a beginner player, this is your episode. No, what this is it's commanders that are fun for both, for all basically levels. But if you're a newer player, it's a commander that would work well that you could start with, that you could upgrade as you get better as a player or get cards. That's another thing with budget. So you could have a goal of like, oh, I want to get this to make this deck better. So we picked 3 commanders. We worked together on this. 3 commanders that are within the last 2 years. And then we did 3 commanders that are 2 years or over 2 years. So we got one old school one, and then a couple mid, over the last like 5 years or so. So we're going to go through those and kind of explain that. Yeah, so this should be interesting. Larry, do you want to start your Lord shot, or you want to wait a little bit, or what? How you feeling there?
Do I want to? No. Will I? Yeah,
sure.
I'll start.
All right, so we're gonna get one of 4 Malorts for Lowry here. Oh, look at that! It has a little 4-leaf clover on it. For
it
St.
always
Patrick's
is.
Day
It's the same one that I had back in October. Not washed. Yeah. Oh man, it was under my nose for like longer than it should have been. Give me a second. Gotta like recompose myself. All right, cheers.
It's so much more enjoyable to watch this. I don't ever watch it because I'm reacting the exact same, and I'm just trying to not vomit everywhere. Actually, it's never a vomit. It's always just like it doesn't taste good. Is basically what it is. So this is now I see why you guys buy us shots, because this is very enjoyable.
Shot.
My sparkling ice water is very delicious. I can't Ibukaki.
I'm gonna do one of your dad's jokes and just go, yeah, no problem.
Oh yeah, fix your glasses.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what it is. And it was some type of casual flicking off.
All right, so yeah, we're going to be going through those commanders. We have a Stump the Smith Savant. It is actually, I think it's Tyler from, also known as Ape Fink. I think he's from the Exiled. You would know better than I would, but I think that's where I got that.
Nice. Yeah, I know Ape Fink over there.
So that is his submission. So we're on round 18, week 2. And then we have the finals of the 3-drop Mono Rock tournament. And then we start up again with our, I don't know, what are we going to do next week? Are we going to bring back the, what the bleep? Except what was it called? Didn't I have the bleep?
No, what the bleep is in between when I fail. Oh, we forgot what the bleep when I lost.
Yes, that is a good.
It's an in between.
That's a good point. Shit.
For Savant.
We have to remember that.
I very much was not ready. So I kind of forgot about it.
Oh no,
great segment though.
We had another idea. You had a great idea for Stump the Smith,
yes,
or for Staple. It was another. Oh, it was for like a card fitting in a deck. We'll introduce that next week, so that'll be kind of fun. Like, what's the best deck that a card?
We want to do that? Okay,
we can try that out. I think maybe.
Sure.
I mean, it's a 2 episode week, so we'll see.
We got to nail that out. Oh, you're right. Okay.
So we're going to get on that. Okay. So I don't think there's much more I want to talk about because we want to kind of keep this one a not quick episode. Watching Lowry suffer after I took a shot of that shit earlier makes me feel a little better. Good. I'm done.
It does not. It's a little bit of sugar that helps the medicine go down. From a wise woman I once.
Oh, Mary.
Yeah,
You're the greatest.
Smart. God, I wish I didn't drink so much beer before the show. I got to work tomorrow.
Well, just, I don't know. I don't know what I was going to give you for advice. Well, there.
That is as good of advice as you can get. Well, that's it.
Okay. Let's get things started here because I don't know how long this segment's going to be because that's another one. I mean it's that's kind of what it is. And I'm not drinking, so hopefully I can kind of keep on track with this and not get all.
What do you mean? No, you're sober.
I know. Maybe I should just pop the edible right now, and then by end of the cast, I'm just like staring at the camera.
I'm getting too sleepy. Let's wrap this up.
All right. You guys can support the podcast by becoming a patron. We broke the streak. We had a month straight of new patrons. We did not get one this week. Wah, wah, wah. But we did get that much closer to the 1,000 giveaway, 1K giveaway. But I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you guys can become a patron by donating $1 or more to Patreon. Well, to us on Patreon. That gets you in the Discord. Gets you playing Commander games, which we are probably going to try to work that in this Sunday. So those of you in the Discord, if you're available Sunday evening around this time, the 9:00 Central Time, we're going to probably try to get a game in. I'm going to have hopefully Uratet put together. It's done. I just got to get the cards actually put together, get the proxies all done and all that stuff. With the triumphs being done, now I can actually work it out. Okay. So $1 or more gets you that. $5 or more gets you proxies each month if you so choose. The higher you move on those tiers, you could get foil proxies, which I'm just saying, because this is the prize for Stump the Smith Savant at the first level. Let's see. This is, take it out of the dang sleeve. These are the foil proxies. So I just worked on the triomes. I did all 10 of them, and it's in the synthwave. And God, these turned out fucking awesome. Maybe it was like 30 hours of work on all of these, but it turned out really nice. So the higher you move on the Patreon levels, you could get foil proxies each month if you choose. That is the financial way to support the cast. You can also support the cast financially by jumping on the live streams like Josh just did. Donated $30 to make Lowry take 4 shots during this episode. It's fun. I enjoy this. I enjoy watching.
You enjoy not taking it.
Yes, I do. But I get it now. It makes more sense why that day we had everybody go fucking crazy, because it's funny. It's very funny. I mean, how many bottles are we down? I got 3 back there. You got 4.
You're 3. I'm 4, and we're
almost done with that.
Close to out on one. I know Mr. Hockey's bringing one to SmithCon. And this is the one that was donated from Doji. Yeah, so there's a lot of support.
Yeah.
There's a lot of support right now.
Well, I guess what I was getting at is we're 4 bottles in and you're on your 5th bottle and it still doesn't, it's not easy.
I don't think it gets better. I don't think you can adjust to it really. Like,
yeah, it's
so awful.
Can you imagine after, let's see, fast forward 5 years from now, it becomes like what we poured. Malord on the rocks. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Trendy shit is stupid.
Yeah. All right. So that is the financial way to support the cast. Jumping on these live streams as well. What does it say?
For every shot I take consecutively, Demonic Mango will add a forest to Savala. Because he only has like 13 land in there. It's so stupid and doesn't listen to me. It frustrates me. Not you.
It's
just the deck.
We have
No, it is you. It's you, not the deck. It's fine.
If you guys aren't a part of the Discord, we have a specific channel that things that make Lowry, is it things that make Lowry angry? I want to pull it up.
Disappointed.
What is it? Yeah, disappointed.
Disappointed.
I want to. Yeah, what is it? It's Lowry's,
I'll look it up.
Lowry's
you're
not mad.
Talking.
He is disappointed. Is the name of one of our channels. So that's perfect. Okay, so that is the financial way on YouTube stuff. The free way to support the channel or support our show is to jump on YouTube and subscribe. 27. We are in the 20s left before we hit 1,000 subscribers. And when we hit that, the 1K giveaway is activated. You will have a week to get your entries in. So if you haven't done it yet, which I will say we're a little bit further out to be reaching the Street Fighter secret layer, we have 90 more entries. So if you haven't done your entries yet, then you need to do that. You will get a week warning once we hit 1,000. But then that secret layer will be available as well. But we are 27 away. So if you are listening right now and you don't have if you have YouTube and you have an account, you're watching it somehow.
If you're listening right now when we're recording this live on YouTube,
well, no, but
you probably have YouTube.
Yeah, you have, but no, I didn't say watching us live right now. I said if you're listening right now.
Okay, which is
come on,
right
I'm sober.
now.
I am sober.
Look,
if you're listening right now and you do have a YouTube account, I mean, everybody has a YouTube account. I can understand you don't have a Twitter account. I can understand you don't have a Facebook account, which we don't even have that for the show, but I get all that. But everybody has YouTube. Like that's just it's there. And whether you know it or not, you have a YouTube account as well. So if you aren't subscribed, subscribe, because once we hit that, then we start giving shit away, and that helps us out a lot. So that's the free way to support the show. We have almost one video per subscriber at this point. We have 800 plus videos that are on the channel. It seems overwhelming, but you don't need to watch the old stuff. But you know,
right? And there's 25% of them are curated MTG because it's like over 200,
and 25% making it 265 is our podcast.
Good point.
Yeah, so half or just those two videos, and
that's not bad.
So, yeah. So so that is the free way to support the show. Like I've said, we have curated MTG. Speaking of curated MTG, that is twice a week. You just had curated on Monday. Or wait, today's Monday.
Saturday. Yep.
What was your curated Saturday? You don't know. What is your curated on Tuesday? Good question.
Hold on, give me a second. Do you remember what color it was? It was two colors.
It was a split card.
Card. Yeah. Deploy and depose. Depose and deploy.
Double D. Just call it double D.
It's a split card from the latest Ravnikas, and it's blue-white, and so it'll either tap and draw a card, or it'll if you pay 4, you can create 2 flyers, and then you gain a life for every creature you control. So it's a really kind of nifty little card, and I'd like to see it being used more. And it's something that I've liked, but it's not something that I have put in.
I was going to ask, decks. Why did that get on your radar? Was it because normally it's because you're building a deck and you put it in. This one is different. This one is just one that you want to see played a little bit more.
I don't know about all the curated. So this one kind of caught my eye because half of it's fairly similar. Like Fire and Ice is a really good card. Was in like Legacy, now in Modern. And it's not as ubiquitous as it used to be, but one half of the card is tap a creature, draw a card, which is this. And instead of being able to split 2 damage for the other side, this one costs a little bit more, but you're getting the 2 creatures and gaining a bunch of life. And so it's kind of like a higher ceiling, but it's not removable, but it's still like a tempo play with the draw if you want. And I always like the options too. So like if you're in a flying deck or a token deck or instant speed like Chun-Li, like you can choose either one of these when you're attacking with Chun-Li. And so I find it a really cool card. And I did, when we were on a arena at the beginning there,
so you're talking about this card
make a deck out of this. Yes.
There we go. Okay.
Depose and deploy. So like this was something that I built a deck around. Like I really like the deck. Or the card, it might just not be. I just might not have built something that really works with it yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I dig that. Tap target creature, draw. I mean, I won't play with it. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. You don't play with most of my curated. And then you put it in the deck, and I'm like, yeah, that was a curated a year ago. And you're like, oh, I just learned about this card.
No, Elephant Grass was one of the better curated MTGs that I actually have in my Daryl deck, which is pretty fantastic. So the big thing there, curated MTG, is give it a like, give it a watch, actually, first of all, then give it a like. That's a big thing with those.
I mean, you could do the like during the watching. Like, I'm assuming people can multitask.
No.
Right?
Take get your shot ready. Get it ready. Do you have it ready?
Damn it. Damn it.
Any of the shorts, especially also on TikTok. We are also over on TikTok as well. The biggest thing there is just give those, you got to watch them.
We might not be here soon. We'll see.
What are you doing? Conspiracy stuff?
You don't?
I didn't.
No. It's very much a reality that it might get banned in America.
Oh, the TikToks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would suck because TikTok is about to surpass our YouTube stuff.
Right. That would.
Whatever.
Have that.
Fine. All right. We also, for this week, this is what's coming up this week. So this is another reason why you subscribe. Not only do we have, curated that's this week, I have the proxy time video. So I'm going to show you guys how all those foils turned out. We also have the Spotlight deck. You're going to be working on your Apostle deck, right?
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to be Thursday night, going to be building the Throy Mutate. Not a lot of Mutate cards, but a lot of Shadowborn Apostle cards. And so I'm going to go dig for demons and being able to bring them back. We'll see how it goes. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's
should be fun.
So Spotlight, that'll be on Thursday. Yep. Also, you ordered something from Card Kingdom. I don't know if you're going to fit that in somewhere or if you're going to wait on that.
Oh, that'll be like a week or two out. So
okay,
so we can
a little bit. Okay,
do that next week.
But we do have the box cracking stuff and all that. But then also the Discord game, like I mentioned earlier, on Sunday. So there's a bunch of things happening this week. So there's at least like 5 or 6 things that we have going on. So the biggest thing there, subscribe. I already mentioned TikTok. The other way you guys can follow us is check us out on Twitter. That's where we just post everything that we're doing. And sometimes we put up polls there, which actually I will say for the tournament this week is the first time both votings were 50-50 right down the middle. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. They both ended at 50-50. And I was like, oh, this one's at 50-50. And then I would scroll down to my side and I was like, what? Mine's 50-50 too? Fuck. Okay, so that's Twitter. You can direct message us there, or you can direct message us by shooting us an email at commandersmiths@gmail.com. And that is where you can send the suggestion for this. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. You want to get your...
I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it like a man. I'm 40. Almost. Aaron was 40.
I am almost. I'll be 40 by the time SmithCon 2023 rolls around. All right, Larry, you want to take your shot while I'm explaining? Or I want to see your face again.
Yeah, just you do. Great. All right, here we go. Oh, we didn't adjust this screen, by the way.
Oh yeah, this one is zoomed in. Shoot.
Yeah, I just had it on my nose a little bit longer. Thank you, Josh, for supporting the cast.
You sound so enthused with it. I'm gonna make a note to myself.
I went down the sides of my lip. I don't know how it escaped. It's loose. I can smell it. Go. Stop watching. Do a job.
I'm trying to write down and also look at you at the same time and laugh. I'm just writing a note to myself to adjust your camera. So this is just on-air production stuff. Okay, if you guys don't know how this game works, I'm going to read the flavor text of a card, and Laura is going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes will hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no will hear this.
Wrong.
You get up to 5 wrong guesses before he is considered stumped. He gets up to 3 clues. If Lowry can get everything about the card but can't get what the name is, he will get the initials of the card. If he has a bonus clue left, he will get a bonus clue that should give it away, hopefully. I think we've only had that backfire once where it didn't help. The card has to be in at least 10,000 EDH rec decks. As I mentioned before, the prize for level 1. So once we get to the 4th week, if are you gurgling Malort now?
No, not Malort. My beer.
Okay. Once we get to the 4th week, we add another card to the ante. We are starting with a proxy, so it's going to be the Spara's. Is it headquarters?
If somebody wants to add on another 20, I'll gargle the next shot.
Look at you working it.
That sounds terrible. That's a bad idea.
That is a bad idea.
Let's hope
all right, so we have Tyler 8 Fink is the stumper for this week. All right, I think that is everything about this. And also, I have eliminated the chat, so the chat can't, or Larry can't see, but the chat can play along and try to guess the card before Larry does. All right, here we go. Flavor text. Here we go. All my all my spells smell like burnt hair lately. Jaya Ballard, Task Mage.
Oh, I know this one.
Fuck. I mean,
what is it?
I know the
name. I just don't. Okay. 2 colorless and a red.
Hello, boobies.
2/2.
Hello, boobies.
Shit.
You can exile it from your hand, and it will create a red mana.
Hello, boobies.
It is a gorilla.
Wrong.
Did it?
like you about to say it.
Hold on. It's originally from Planar Chaos.
Hello, boobies.
Just taking all my clues away from me. That's all.
Obviously, it's a red card.
Hello, boobies.
Let's see here. So it's a ape.
Hello, boobies.
Can you get the second creature type?
Shaman.
Wrong.
Is there anything else that I need to guess, or is that the last one?
It's the last part. And I'm almost willing to give it to you on that. I mean, you know it. You got basically the main part of it, but I think you could kind of figure it out. I haven't even given you a clue yet, so actually, I could give you. Oh no, because you haven't gotten the that part.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you can't get the bonus until then.
It's an ape. I'm very surprised it's not a shaman. So I have 2 wrong right now, right?
Correct.
Both dealing. So it's an ape. It's not a shaman. I don't think it's a wizard. What else could be there?
Instead of trying to think of the card, like what it is, can you think of the name?
Pretty far off on that. Like, last time I thought about that card, I traded 4 of them away for an exploration. And
it's a pretty good
like
trade.
alt art somebody painted on it. Yeah. It was pretty nice. It was like $20 worth. So like 5 a piece. And then like a month later they reprinted it. And
you're
I was
like, yes. And we have the stumper on, I believe.
Oh.
It's not matching the name, but it's kind of, I think. Is that? I don't want to give things away. Curdy the Ape, are you the stumper? I'm guessing you are. Because it's Ape Fink is the name. I'm guessing.
All right. So in the name, first part is God, I want to get that last part, and then I can get.
Yeah, it is. Curdy the Ape is the stumper. All right. Hey, all Tyler.
Right. It's 2 words, right? The name is 2 words. And then oh no, ape. I don't think it's a wizard. I don't think it's a spirit.
Is that what you're asking?
Oh. So I'm just thinking of the green version of this.
You're talking about
And that's a spirit.
Elvish
Guide.
yeah.
Elvish spirit guide.
Yeah.
I believe that's a spirit. All right, so what? I don't think it's a spirit. God damn it. I'm so close. Now I'm just going to waste.
Just trying to get
Bunch
the
of
second
time.
creature type.
All right, well, okay. Can I get one relevant? Are any of the clues relevant?
No. Because the art, you know what it is. I said it reminds me of the fantastic, great movie Congo. Because it looks like that, dude.
Yeah, you're right.
Because he looks like he's white, like a Congo monkey or the ape that's out of that. And then
I'm pretty sure I watched that movie because of you.
yeah, you did. I think we watched it together, to be honest with you.
I think we did.
You already got the text, and you got exactly where it's from, and yeah, there's nothing I can do besides give you the bonus clue. Well, I can give you the initials. I can give you the initials and then the bonus clue.
Is it a spirit?
Hello, boobies.
God, thank God. All right, thank God.
Before I give you bonus clue, let me give you the initials and see if you can get it. SSG.
Send me a spirit guide.
There we go.
There it is. When you're like, is it you're like a spirit? And I was like, is that what you're gonna ask? And then you're like, oh, fuck. No, I'm not gonna ask. And then you completely went away from it. I was like, oh man, all he has to do is he just needs to go back to that spirit, and he has it. Because did you have the spirit guide? I think working the Elvish one when you got, and I was like, it's Elvish something, and you were like, yeah, spirit guide.
It didn't click. It didn't click. I thought guide did, but then I was like, I'm pretty sure I thought it was like gorilla guide, and I was like, that's not right. And so it took a little bit to get there.
That's an interesting. I think I will say this is the first time I think we've gone like no clues besides giving you the initials. Like I think I've always, at least if you've got to that point, I've had to give you a clue.
How many decks is this in?
It is in 49,000 EDH rec decks.
49,000?
49,000 EDH rec decks. Yeah. So actually it's pretty close to 50,000. It was like only like a couple, like 50 or 60 away from.
What is the
Godo Bandit Warlord uses this the most. Is that what you're going to ask?
Okay. No. What is the other
art
flavor text from M25?
No, it'd be the Time Spiral one. It's rarely worth questioning where the mana comes from. Just be grateful. Jaya Ballard, Task Mage. So Jaya said both of them in this.
That might have taken me a little bit more time, but that's actually the version that I currently have. So I think I would have gotten there, because it was the planar chaos version that I traded away. And then M25, or was it 25th anniversary? That was like the first set when we came out as a podcast, like within a month.
Yeah, it
started.
Yep. Yeah. It was, and then we did that whole thing of breaking that down.
All of them, they're all CEDH or ape tribal. Should have been a gorilla.
I'm glad I at least got to say the Congo part, because I was just like, the amazing blockbuster hit Congo.
It was huge.
It
it was way bigger than it ever had any right to be. I'm gonna take another shot.
All right. Oh, go for it, buddy.
I got to time this out, or else I'm going to be drunk until 2 a.m. again. I might still be.
Yeah, he might be drunk by the end of the podcast.
I'm gonna have to pick up a bottle before.
So, Curdy the Ape, you can, if you want, so choose to send us. Now that it's so cheap, you could send us this. And I have a feeling you like apes because your ape fink on the Exiled, your Curdy the Ape, and your profile picture is an ape, and then you chose an ape for your thing. So I would appreciate if we got a signed one there, and it can make it on the wall of shame over there, which is on that frame and on the booby picture there. So if you want, you can sign that, or you can just sign to land if you don't want to wreck any apes. I understand if,
it's only
or Donkey Kong. Right. I like that, Alan. All right, third shot.
Smith always pays his debt.
Wiener.
That's stupid.
That one isn't as bad. It just seems like that one went to the dome a little bit more than the others. All right. Okay.
That just like enveloped the whole tongue.
I don't think we have
I'm gonna say it's worse when you're doing it alone too.
Yeah, because you don't have.
Just saying, it's better when you have like misery, sharing misery. This is awful.
All right, on to our main topic. I don't know. Is this just the tips again? Are we doing a 3 weeks in a row, just the tips type of thing? I guess. Maybe.
Here you go, AJ.
I don't want relationships. I just want bang. I don't want to know your.
We can do just the tips.
Oh, that works. That works. All right.
I haven't hit that button in a long time. You stole it from me.
Yeah, I did. I did, just to add. I don't have a segment name. I can send it.
All I have now is good for you, and kids can't even read.
What about?
I don't even
build a better deck. That's.
I don't have that.
Oh, that's why I get to play it.
I don't have that. Cool Story Bro is there too, but generally I'm just like, it's a cute story. It's
it is a good story. I like it. All right.
I should just.
Hello, boobies.
Hello, boobies.
I like hearing that.
Which commander should we start with? So just so I can have it on the front. What is it? Let's do it.
I think new.
All right.
New. Were you thinking new or old? I don't know.
Oh, that's fine. Let's start with Ishin, I guess. So what this segment is we are going to be going through. Let's get a cooler version of him. Let's get that version of Ishin. Okay.
Cool.
So what we are talking about in this segment, it's not just a new people or just for advanced players or veterans or whatever. This is for everybody. We basically went with commanders that are good for new players, but also have enough variance with the decks or the commander that you can build them in different ways that pros or advanced players will like them as well. And as a new player, how you can grow into this deck. So you can have goals. Like, I know it's kind of a cool thing when you have like, okay, I got the base part of my deck done. Like if you're new, I know what it is like playing other games where you're like, okay, I got my base. Like for example, Diablo 4, I just started playing, they've been doing the release. When you get
good for you.
Well, it's the beta testing. So I got on there because I paid for the early release stuff. Press the button again, please.
Good story, bro.
That's even better. But in the game, you get your gear and then you find more gear and you upgrade. You have a goal of like, I want my gear to get to this. Like, what the gear that you want and you work your way and get it up there. For new players, that's really nice with commanders. You have like a commander you really like, and you might not have all the funds to get it exactly where you want it. If you had unlimited funds, this is how you could build it.
We should say this can be like the idea for budget players too.
Right.
Slowly upgrading decks and changing ideas and having things move and work. And one thing that for me, and I understand that not everybody is me because I'm weird, but is my son asked like, why do you like Magic so much? And I'm like, it's a fantastic puzzle just to build with, to see what fits where, what can be here, what can be better. And then also when it gets into the gameplay, like that's a completely different story as well. But I really enjoy the deck building aspect of it. And so I think all of these also have fairly different ways of building that you can grow
right
as so what you're saying, like from somebody that's just starting into experienced, you have a bunch of cards, or you're building up to the cards and you have ideas that you want to go, like how about an example is like Doji in the Discord right now. He's building that red, green, blue dragon deck. Shit, you don't even go to the deck building one. No, but it's from Commander, and so is Mr. Hockey. They're both building that deck where, like, whenever you play a dragon, you get a copy token of it.
Yeah, we played against. But right now, somebody else from the Discord played that deck. Who was that? Somebody.
So Doji's like, I have like 6 different decks here, or and he's working on Brea too, and I'm exaggerating for prosperity, but posterity. What
prosperity?
I'm drunk. I'm getting there.
That's 3 of them in.
But when you have different ideas, and he's like, I might just build all of them. I think that's a really good deck that allows you to start with it and then build into it and have different ways. And so that's kind of what we're going here for, is like, if you're beginning, these are good decks to kind of get into, but also you can grow with them. You can learn with them. You can change them. They have a lot of different avenues, and they have a lot of good teaching points.
Yeah.
For what you can learn from.
Yeah. Yes. That is a good point. That is one aspect that we are hitting with each one of these 6. So we have 3 from like I mentioned before, 3 from the last 2 years and 3 from 2 years plus. Each one of these is different. They're not like the same at all. There we go. Thank you.
Miriam Sentinel Worm.
There we go. Okay.
Thank you.
So they're each different in how they are built. We're hitting different avenues in that. And then each one has a way of how you can spin it. Like you said, why would it appeal to advanced players, people that would want, because some of the ones that are straightforward, where it's like, this is the only way to build it, I always am just like, nope, I want it to be different.
What was the one that you were talking about today?
Urtek?
When we were discussing it.
Is that what you're saying?
No, the enchantment one.
Silas.
Yeah, Silas.
Yeah. So let me pull that one up quick.
I think, even that, like, you're playing enchantments in that, right?
Or is it IS?
IS.
I don't even think I spelled it right there. Is it CY?
We got this podcast and we know about magic cards, but can you tell us about this dragon that's red, green, blue, and this enchantment green, white creature?
Kid can't even spell. No, I don't want Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Is that even? That's in the.
Can we just quit and I don't have to do this 4 shot? Can we do that? Is that just bombing right now?
Whatever. So I feel like it's SI. Whatever. I don't. It's from Modern Horizons 2.
I can find it real quick, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
People know what we're talking about.
It's the one when you play an enchantment, you draw a card and you gain a life, I believe is what it is. And so that one feels very like, this is the direction you're going. Get good enchantments, play this. And, you can be an advanced player, somebody that has the toolbox. They have more options than somebody that's newer, but this is the direction that deck is going. So the 3 that we're going to talk about for the last 2 years, I'm just going to go backwards. Okay, let's get started with some of this. Ishtin, like we mentioned, 2 heavens as 1. So you built this deck, so you will have a good input on this deck. As a beginner, the hard part, I will say, I have some positives and negatives. Hard part is going to be you're working with 3 colors. So that is going to be one of the biggest hurdles.
I do want to say that when we limited ourselves to newer commanders, like we did, in the last year, but then we added Chatterfang because it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
To like try and hit everything that we're trying to hit as well. Sithis.
Gosh, you're just on.
God, who is it? Who's this? MTG
strategist. I think he's the way they on Twitter. There's one of our Twitter followers.
There we go. One of our 4. Yes. Thank you for being here. God. They call me Savant, but really it's MTG strategist and Renshai.
There you go.
Those are the 2 Savants we know.
So
I'm brain damaged.
The tough thing with this was that you're getting on there was a lot of 3-color commanders, 3+ color commanders in the last.
Because Kamigawa was 3-color, Streets of New Capenna was 3-color, and The Commander Legends
yeah.
Baldur's Gate was 3 colors.
So we had
And
a
so-
lot of 3 color to choose from, but we
Right.
kind of went with ones that were BL. Okay, so the cool
When,
thing,
when you're new, you kind of probably don't have the land base that can support a lot of 3 colors. Maybe you focus in on a 3 color deck, but that can be problematic. We've touched on that in the past.
so with Ishin, the cool thing about this is, I mean, I would say this teaches you more on attack trigger stuff. You had kind of mentioned when we were discussing things beforehand, this could be seen as a go wide one.
Right.
But I feel like you're more focused on the things that they're doing their triggered abilities. And so this is teaching you about, there's one thing that you will learn on this is there's a difference between attacking and an attacker. Like that's the one thing that even to this day, like things I'm like, oh yeah, it's already attacking. So you're going to learn that. You know what I'm talking about?
So the wordage is that you want to, that you see is like, this is whenever a creature attacks and it triggers an ability, it doubles it. But if a creature comes into play already attacking, it would not trigger this.
Yeah.
So that's something that you would learn. I don't know how much you would actually need to know that. That's one of the things.
I'm
with
just saying
Ishin
that's
like,
one thing that even comes up to this day with us. Like we'll be playing like, oh yeah, shit, that one's already tapped and attacking. You don't get the benefits from, whatever it's doing there. But in this case, like what this is going to teach you is more of you're making a deck around attack triggered creatures to start off, but really it's saying permanence. So it is talking about other things that are dealing with that. And I would think that's more of the advanced way as a player could build it, is you're more focused on your creatures attacking and you're a permanent that is getting a good effect. So how did you build this deck? Because I would say you are quite the advanced player. Oh, that means it's a really good deck. If Lara built 2 of these.
When it's something that draws me in and I want to build both the decks. So Ishin initially, the one that I built on Spotlight was go wide, and then the attack triggers really specifically came into like people losing life or dealing damage whoever I'm attacking, and having that double trigger.
Oh, so okay, I like that.
So like Hell Rider, and there's a couple of there's multiple.
I played that version again. You played us in that version. Yep, I remember that.
That was the one. And so like that's a go wide version, and I could totally see a new player wanting to play that. It's super fun, super aggressive. You're just playing cards out, and we played that against like Jacuzzi, and I was like, if somebody has a Wrath, I'm done.
Yeah, you did get screwed over that first game. Yep.
I go wide, and that's one of the parts though that you need to learn when you're becoming an experienced player. So either you need to know what your deck's weaknesses are and going, okay, I'm a heavy creature deck. I need to be able to defend my deck or protect it, or accept that this can just happen. And don't get upset like, oh, somebody's running Wraths. Like that's silly to get upset about, right?
I mean, that's every game.
Right.
Who's going to play the
same
Wrath?
thing with us. Like we are unnecessarily upset about like counter spells, but that
no, I think it is very necessary. What are you talking about? Stop it.
That's a part of the game. And so
I will flip tables.
Like you need to understand where your weaknesses are in your deck, and when you can become one-sided, maybe you learn that as a newer player. But also, like, one thing that we didn't talk about, and it just kind of hit me when we were talking about this here, is as a newer player. Yeah, I know. it affects me negatively and positively. Like it's so weird. I should not have been studying when I was drinking in college, and it's not a good studying tactic, because then when you go take the test drunk, it's nobody looks at you positively. So, but like there's a lot of triggers here.
Yeah.
And that could be a problem for a newer player as well. But going into the other way, the second deck that I built was a defensive goad deck. And so
I don't think I saw that one. Did I see that?
No,
one?
you haven't.
Okay.
No,
I was like, I don't remember seeing that one.
That is an unplayed deck right now. I played against hockey.
I was gonna say
I played against
maybe
hockey
on Sunday.
What's going on Sunday? Oh, maybe. Yeah. No. I have tons of decks that I want to play at this point.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But
oh, good for you.
I couldn't wait. I was waiting.
Fair,
I'm like,
fair,
I had the buttons ready. Like, yes,
retaliation. Button retaliation. And so the other thing here though is that it's not just on your creatures. Whenever any creature triggers off of attacking any permanent, that can
hashtag
double
pro
trigger.
tip. I'm getting rid of your forest walk shit. I'm gonna hashtag everything so that it just becomes just bland. Hashtag.
You know what? I won't
hungry.
even say anymore. You're not even gonna notice anymore. I'm just gonna go like this into the camera. That's hashtag, and everybody knows what I'm gonna say.
Okay, I'm just gonna make that like you're doing a racial slur, is what that means, or something.
Wow,
just kidding.
Wow, that's not how that works.
I was actually trying to think. Wasn't there that finger thing that people do? That I don't know. Now it sounds really bad.
That's a gang thing. Yeah, they do finger things.
No, yeah, whatever. It's the politicians. People are doing like hand signs where they're doing the pictures, and it's really supposed to be like white power crap or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? I think it's this.
Oh no, you talking about that? Yeah, that is.
I did it the wrong way.
It is.
Yeah. So that, but you know what I'm talking about? People are getting they're doing that stupid crap on.
That's the thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That is a white power thing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna make,
but it's also
your
like
hashtag,
a childish
I'm gonna
game.
make up something like that. That you're not like that. That's kind of.
I don't think you should do that. That's wow.
That's really.
Do you have that
extreme.
kind of power? Can you just make?
Well, you know how Twitter's the voice.
I'm just stealing from Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake from like 15 years ago. Why are we?
That got me all sweaty, like that whole conversation there. And I'm not even drinking. All right.
So,
right,
but
we move on to the
if there's like Karthus, Tyrant of the Cliffs, and so if somebody attacks you and that says like they have to pay 3 for each attacking creature.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That means with Ishin they have to pay 6 for each attacking creature, or you'll get double the 3/3 whatever the fuck's ogres.
Oh yeah.
And
you sure about
and
that?
so you
one?
have
Or you think it's
plenty of cards. Of course, that's in the deck. No,
he said is it an
but
ape? You sure it's not
is an ape? No, it's an ogre. It's an ogre, like Shrek. Yeah. And so there are a ton of cards like that. And so I built a deck defensively, but adding goad in there because one back again. Stupid. But so goad, one of the bad things about goad is at the end of the game,
when it's 1v1,
your cards become silly because you're forcing them to attack you.
But it is forcing them to attack, which is still a benefit because they might not want
You're defending goad. That's not the point. Yeah. The point is in Ishin, I have this defense right here that forces them to attack me that will double trigger these defenses.
Like yeah. So you get,
right?
I like it.
And so that's the part that I'm going for. I don't know if it really works because again, I haven't really played it beyond 1v1, but those are the things you can, if you look at a card and you're like, I want to build it this way, but this could be fun and this could be fun. Those are decks that you can grow with. And those are decks that you can. This is just the first deck. Should we move on?
Yeah. We're lucky we're not talking about Calamax because we have to give you a whole hour.
Thank God we're not doing
Calamax.
All right. I had 3 decks and I want to do like 4 or 5.
All right. So the next one we had already mentioned, we'll just jump on Chatterfang because I think that's a good one to talk about. So that came out in Modern Horizons 2. So it's just almost at that 2-year mark. At this point. So Chatterfang is 1 green and 2 colorless for a squirrel warrior, 3/3. I guess we didn't we did explain what Ishin was. This has hashtag Team Forest Walk, your favorite. Yep. 1 or more tokens will be created
Team Forest Walk.
under your control. Those tokens, create those tokens plus that many 1/1 squirrel tokens instead. And then you can tap 1 black. So this is a green and black. So we have a dual color. Sacrifice X squirrels. Target creature gets plus X minus X until end of turn. So right here we have your first kind of your token deck in a way. And kind of a tribal. I would say the squirrel tribal, and
Can be.
And I would think that somebody that is new starting out would probably build it that way. Go for squirrels and be like, hey, this is going to be squirrel tribal, blah, 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 blah. But I think the advanced way to do this one is more of using the tokens, like treasure tokens, stupid food tokens, clue tokens, any other. You're dealing with green and black. So
Throne of Eldraine was like 4 years ago. Why are you still so upset about food tokens?
Because it's about to be in Lord of the Rings. Like
we have a 3-hour episode on Throne of Eldraine.
It's gonna be.
We're so mad.
Be a big thing. I mean, Frodo and Sam. It's called a food deck. It's a food and something deck. It's gonna be all fucking food.
I'm gonna build it, soup it up, and piss you off.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing.
And they have a card that makes it so food only costs 1 instead of or 1 less. So is it 2 right now to sacrifice it to gain 3 life?
Yeah, 2.
So it's gonna be it's stupid.
I don't know. Do you think I play with food?
Yeah, food's dumb. Anyways, okay. So Chatterfang. The easy way is you go squirrel tribal. I think the more advanced, the nice thing about this is also has the built-in removal on it, which is I wanted to build this deck. Right. Ibukaki built it. I tore apart.
You wanted to build it because of hashtag Team Force Walk on it?
No.
No. Yeah.
It's not even a part of it.
So, but there are multiple ways, but one reason why we wanted to focus on this is that it is going to teach you how important removal is.
Right.
And there's the tribal aspects and there's the token aspects of going wide.
There's a couple. There's a multiple things that you get in this. Like it gives you a taste of the tokens, the tribal.
I think for the biggest thing for me is because you can go like aristocrats style with this as well. Like there are a lot of different ways that you can kind of go about it. And if you're not focusing, you can have a wide array of what's going on. And that it's hard to guess what interests people. Right. And so, but like a newer player probably goes like squirrel tribal with a token something, making sure that tokens are being made. And so, but like we know that like treasures are huge and clues are really big in those 2 colors. And so you're probably going to be in those 2 and running amok. So that way, like just burping them out.
The way that this one, the deck that this took over when I was going to build it, now I've already moved on. You know, now we already have it in our play group, so I don't need to build this, but it was taking over Mazarek. So Mazarek is a Scion deck. It's all based on sacrificing your Scions to give you mana. They are generally tokens. I saw it. Demonic Mango. The food tokens are
hope it's a potato token.
It's going to be potato. And I hate potatoes, but I love Lord of the Rings, so I'm going to enjoy this whole set.
That is... Out of all of the dialogue in Lord of the Rings,
potatoes.
What's taters, precious?
What's taters?
It's so good.
It is.
It's
I just watched it all again because it's my tax time movies.
Tax season.
Yeah, that's what I got my taxes done faster this year. I got through 2
I thought it was
movies.
Firefly that you watched.
I mix it up. Firefly and
all right.
So last year was Firefly. So next year will be Firefly, and then Lord of the Rings back and forth. Whatever. Anyways, let's sidetrack.
Good. Glad TMI for your tax season watching pleasure, but
so anyways, this was going to be my new Mazarek. It was going to be based on sacrificing. So what Mazarek would have been actually in the deck itself. So sacrificing those Scions or getting the Scion tokens or sacrificing the squirrels would actually make everything bigger. And you could actually turn it into more of a Voltron type of deck, because if you have Mazarek out with it, every time you sacrifice something, all my other creatures get 1/1 counters, and it gets bigger and bigger. So you could actually kill with Chatterfang. Ideally, is what the idea was. It never got built, but that's just to give you an idea of like a more advanced player like myself. That's how I was.
Good for you.
That's how I was planning on building this deck. I don't remember how Alex's or Ibukaki's deck is because he built Chatterfang. I know one turn can just kill everybody. So he has, some pretty good synergies in that deck, and that it can just go nuts. I don't know if it's commander damage or if I forget how his wins.
And one thing to point out here too is that this does have a combo or two that can go into it, and as you advance, or not, but combos are a thing, and
it's infinite ones we stay away from.
Right. Some people might not even, when you're newer, you might not even know they exist. And then once you figure them out or learn about them, like you add them into the deck and stuff like that. And if that's how you want to play, or your play group does, and then that's something that you can do. And there's one thing that we try and talk about, but we don't do a lot of it. But you don't have to make the best deck that you possibly can to be an experienced player,
right?
And so it really does depend on your play group, and where you're at. And that's why, like, oh, what's your deck level, power level at? That's an important question out there, but also you need to be like cognizant of what your deck and your play group does. And so if people hate it, we've talked about this plenty of times. If everybody's rolling their eye when you're doing your thing, change your thing unless you absolutely love it. But if it's every deck that people are rolling their eyes about,
what if your thing is people rolling their eyes?
Oh, yeah.
You might need to check yourself as a person, you evil bastard.
Right. Just find it in other places.
Yeah. Oh, yes, they're rolling their eyes again.
Are you masturbating there? What is going on?
No, it was the finishing part.
So it sounds like for me. I don't know.
All right. So is there anything else you want with Chatterfang? So we have, I had the advanced version is going non-squirrels. All right. The last one of the new stuff is one that I actually built. I didn't think about building. It is one that is pretty fucking crazy, and it's a really fun card. But it's Blanca, Ferocious Friend. I forget what oh wait, there it is. The universes within version. Oh, you guys can't see that. So let me pull that up so you can see. Is the Howling Abomination. So either I like the Blanca one better, so we're going to go back to that. So it is 3, a red and a green for a 5/5 human beast warrior. He has haste. Rolling attack is Blanca. Blanca has trample as long as you've cast 3 or more spells this turn. They don't have to be instants or sorceries. It's just spells in general. And then when he becomes the target of a spell, he gets 2+2 until end of turn. And it deals 2 damage to each opponent. So this kind of hits your Voltron. This is our Voltron commander of the batch of these 6 here. But it has an aspect to it of surround mass damage if you're able to do some pretty nasty things. As a new player, I think you would probably build it as, I don't know, what do you think? Would it be more of a Voltron, or would you think it would be more of a mass thing? I think you would probably pick one or the other, maybe. I think as a more advanced, you utilize both, and you hit everybody down and you focus on one player, get them out, and then you get to the next person.
I think in my mind, you're probably, because like you can use auras here, you can use the instants and sorceries part, and equipment isn't really doing anything here. But
one thing
you're probably trying to
Spellslinger. This also hits the Spellslinger side of things.
Right. That's kind of why we chose this too, is that it is Spellslinger E.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to learn about just slinging them spells.
Hence the
so what?
I said hence the name.
Yeah, you're right. And we want to hit that. And so you should at least have some type of deck that you're playing around with that is Spellslinger E.
Yeah.
Be it whatever in that, but if it's something that interests you as a new player, spell slinging is a lot of fun.
Yes.
And it tends to lean into more experienced play because it has a lot of intricate, when do I play this?
Right. That is a very important thing to learn, of timing of when you play the spells. I think that's one of the most difficult things that newer players can grasp onto is, and even people that have been playing for years and years and years and years, like that's one teaching moment I end up having a lot when we're playing with our group sometimes with some of the even experienced people is like, why did you cast that or use that ability right now? You can do it right before your turn starts. Like if it's an instant or if it's their creature's abilities, like you're kind of wasting it by not wasting it, but you can wait and see what happens and respond later. Like you don't have to do it right now unless it's a sorcery thing. So this can help teach you, like you're saying, is when to play your spells. When is the best time? Are you doing it on your turn? Are you going all full out, I'm going to attack? Or are you pulling the defense part and waiting until your turn's about to go? And then you're like, okay, I cast this, targeting Blanca. It allows me to draw a card, but also doing 2 damage. And I play this, and I'm targeting Blanca, draw a card, protection, blah, blah, blah. You're just holding all this stuff in your hand. So,
but even so, like you as an experienced player, like you still go off, right? It feels like you're always being aggressive, but you're never out of anything. And so like that's that part of like Blanca that can just be brutal. But as we're talking about it, like one card that almost made it, and we'll bring it in, was like Benny Brax.
Yeah. That was
is whenever you have a token to play at the end of each turn, if you have that happen, you get to draw a card. And that can be a simple way of teaching a newer player, like, oh, I can hold on to this and
wait until somebody else's turn and then play
and then create that token. Or and Calamax is kind of like that too, because it only doubles once a turn. Had to bring it up, right?
You had to get Calamax. Wasn't on any of our lists and any of our discussions, but Calamax had to get there.
But Calamax, it would not be something that I would push towards a newer player.
Please, let's talk about Calamax on this. No, I'm just kidding.
But Blanca, I think, has a raw power part of being very strong. This is one of them that we were talking about that's kind of like borderline too good for a newer player.
That is a good point, because we did not mention that in the beginning part. A lot of these that we have chosen are ones that aren't target necessarily commanders. Like there's a lot of good ones that if you're playing it, you're going to be the target. If you're a newer player, that isn't necessarily fun. An advanced player, you can handle that. So that got the advanced side, but the newer side, you're just immediately the target. One of those would be like Shieldred. You're going to be the target because you're making people are drawing and you're doing damage, but it's
Nekasar.
good. Nekasar is another one. I would
People
say
don't like discarding cards. They don't like losing life or taking damage.
Tulane could be one that's freaking crazy, because that every time I see a Tulane deck out, even if they're like, oh, I just threw it together.
It's just shits and giggles. It's like,
no, this is really fucking
I don't like your giggles.
So this is a good point. This one is probably our most borderline Reaper King. I liked my commander. I had a Reaper King.
I'm glad you liked your deck.
But
destroying
Blanca,
everybody's land.
Blanca is out of all this is by far our most borderline of you might be a target if you play Blanca.
Agreed. So that's something to look out for as a newer player. If you're being targeted, maybe avoid that commander, maybe change it up. But sometimes when you've gotten that label, it's already too late.
Yeah.
I would suggest kind of changing the deck, because the other thing too is, and we make it a joke, but it's like attack the Smiths. But if you're a newer player in your group, but you're the best in the group, you can get the reputation of just being attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And that also isn't fun if you're a newer player.
Right.
once you get a little bit more experience, you can potentially not have it become or be as problematic for yourself, because you're like, oh, I totally understand that, because this fucking deck wrecks. All these decks wreck against you guys. Like I get it. But this is something that happened in not that one. This one.
For you.
There was a point where yeah. It's a preemptive strike. And
you can't do
but
that.
sorry, I'm taking your chill.
Yeah.
Cool. But there was a point when we were playing with our group, and I was going, shit, I am just getting hated out of games. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. And I don't remember who said it, because it was a long time ago. But it was basically like, calm your decks down, and you're going to get hated out for 6 months to a year.
Oh.
And then after that, things change a little bit.
Are you saying they told you to calm your stuff down?
No. It was a general idea, talking about Commander. And so basically that's where a little bit of the idea of like start taking out tutors, like Stoneforge Mystic was in every white deck I had.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't need it in every white deck.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And I think that was the start of, we don't need the tutors. We don't need the counter spells. We don't need the wraths.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need the epitome of the best card that needs to happen to be able to be in our play group, because there are differences in interest levels within your friends.
Right.
Right.
Well,
and
I was going to say a side thing with the tutor stuff. Like, people, that we talk about and we don't do tutors and counters and all that stuff.
Yeah.
How that really came about was, we used to play 60 card casual decks. Mm-hmm. And when Lowry and I would get together, we'd play 30 games in a night, and they'd last on an average of 5 minutes. That's ridiculous how many games you would play, but they all went the same way. And so that's why, and we've talked about it before, if you go back to like episode 1 where we reminisced about that a couple months ago, in that we talked about, that's why Commander drew us in. Like, I don't know if I'd still be playing Magic right now if Commander didn't exist, because it just got so repetitive. I didn't like that as much. And when Commander, the variance of how your decks go and how you play them out, it's 100 cards. One card, you don't get duplicates, so you're not consistent with that. But then if you add in tutors, it started to feel like back to 60 card decks, because my deck was always winning the same way. I'm like,
we had tutors for years, right, though.
It was still fun,
and then,
but each
and
deck
I don't know if there was
an
instant where. Sorry, what was that?
I was saying it was still fun, but each deck pretty much won the same way every single time, because I would have 5 to 7 tutors in there, and 9 times out of 10, I was getting this card. If I didn't have that, or if there was something else on the board, I was getting rid of that so I could get my combo, or not combo, but my win con. And it made the decks and decks that I would build after that very similar, because you'd have similar types of win cons in your decks. And so that it started feeling like all my decks were the same. Or this 100 card deck, there's like 20 cards that don't even matter because I'm tutoring up to go find the combo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, how do I get to...
I know what you're saying.
Well, I know, but you gave me a what are you talking about?
No, I wasn't. That wasn't to you. That was, before the cast started, when we were prepping and stuff, and we felt like things were going really fast. I feel like we're getting into a lot of minutia and specifics right now. But then I looked at the time and I'm like, we're not doing too bad.
Yeah, well, that's why.
Did things slow down? Are we just focusing on the minutia part of this? Are we like? And so I don't know. Here's the thing: is like the part that we're trying to specifically teach or talk about here is find a spell slinging deck that you can take in a bunch of different directions. Make sure that you're not picking decks that are too strong within your group. I think those are the parts
of that. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And when we go back to like Ishin, we're talking about make sure that it doesn't have to be this deck specifically, because there are, for a new player, there's a lot of triggers there for a very new player.
Yeah, that one could get a little confusing.
You know what I mean?
But
we avoided graveyard interaction because that's taking a separate zone for newer players. But I personally really fucking love graveyard.
You are the recursion king.
Something there.
Not
like
the
I
Reaper
want
king.
something
You're the
in my
recursion
graveyard.
king. Yes.
And so that's when we were talking about this bit, it's kind of like I don't have a lot of decks that I can hand off to a newer player.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have a little bit more that could be, but at the same time, not like the way that you built it.
There's
and that's kind of where
Edgar is the specific one that is the only one that's like, here's a new player.
And I would almost say that's, for a very new player or somebody that hasn't played the deck,
right?
It's a lot,
right?
It's a lot of triggers when Edgar's in play, and you're going, okay, 1/1 counters on everything,
right? Yeah. But most of the time, you don't even get that. Normally, it's just you're casting your vampires and getting that.
Right, just making the token and stuff like that, and so that makes it more simple.
Which we did build that Aloro deck together. Oh, speaking of Aloro.
Oh, look at that fucking segment going into the older versions of decks that you could go with.
So Aloro, well, this is our oldest one. This is old school little dude here. I think was it
probably our original version of what we're talking about a little bit.
Yeah. Why does Prosh keep getting brought up? Prosh, no, get him out of here.
Get Prosh out of here.
So Aloro, ageless. What is it? How do you say that? A kid can't even read.
Ascetic.
I don't even know what that is.
Why are you setting me up for the button?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what it is. It's so this is also a 3-color. So this is our 3-color in the old school, but it's 3, a white, a blue, and a black for a 4/5 giant soldier. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 2 life. Whenever you gain life, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card, and each opponent loses a life. Those 2 don't really matter because you don't even have to cast this damn commander because it can sit in your command zone. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Aloro is in your command zone, you gain 2 life. So this is your life gain commander. Basically, it's nice when you're a new player to have this guy just sit there and you gradually are doing your thing. By the time anybody's actually doing something to you, you've already gained 10 life. And you can just play around with just building a deck with creatures and do all this stuff. And at the same time, you're gaining life. Get the defense up, get this, figure out your way of you're going to win, you're going to attack, you're going to do all this stuff. You just go that. It's a very easy build the deck. You're gaining life even when people are doing damage to you. Are you going for your next Malort? All right. But the advanced way is to utilize that life gain. Build the deck so that you're getting an advantage off of gaining life. You're building. That's what Lowry and I actually built this deck together. We had somebody that was just starting out. We were trying to get him into the game. We're like, okay, we were at guys weekend.
Fuck you, Josh.
Oh, there it goes. Oh, fantastic.
It's like sideways.
You're going to go sideways after this. All right. So we built this. We actually stayed up. I think we got up there early before everybody else was up there.
We did.
And Lowry and I stayed up until like 2:00 in the morning, built this deck for, life gain to make it for a newer player. But it's synergized. You use the synergy of the gaining life stuff. Very rarely do you ever use the commander. Like, it's almost dumb to even put him out and play because the advantage of it is minimal. You pay 1 pay 1 when you draw a card and each opponent loses life. Like, that's not how you build the deck. You build the deck around the gain life stuff.
Well, okay. So one thing that we did during the deck is we made it a little bit more enchantment based,
focused. Yep.
And so we made sure, like, because we're building it for everybody that had never played Commander or Magic in general.
Oh yeah.
And so, being 3-color, oftentimes like you need to worry about your mana, and with this commander, you don't necessarily have to. We made sure that it was harder to attack them. We made sure that with the life gain, it's kind of nice. Newer players I've noticed, and they like life gain. They like to not feel like they're, even if they're being attacked, not really being lower than everybody else.
Right.
And then also, like, you can grow and you can be like, oh, you know what? I can lose a life and draw a card, and drawing cards can be better than losing a life, like you're kind of saying. And newer players, it's harder. Very new players, it's harder to have things negative happen to them, even though they can be a bonus.
Right.
So, like, we're talking shock lands, fetch lands.
Fetch lands are one of the biggest things that new players get. And they go, why are you paying a life to go get a shock land? Like, why are you? Yeah. And then you're doing 2 damage? What? This is just crazy. Why would you're going to kill yourself before anybody does anything? Like, you just don't get that part of Magic yet. I've had so many conversations with people that just don't understand that have just starting out, even a couple of years into it, still don't get that aspect of it.
And so this part, I would say, is like, it's good because you don't have to force them to use a fetch land or shock land. It's something that's easier for them to lean into because they're already gaining life. So they can be like, sorry, my lord.
You got the hiccups? You're going to do your...
I don't know if it's hiccups or my body's rejecting my organs.
Are you going to do what you did after the cast last week and start going, I am not a fish. I am not a fish.
It works. It works. It's so bonkers. It's
on my notes on the top of this our podcast. Like, I wrote it down to like mention it, and this is kind of perfect.
It only kind of works.
Yeah, it worked for a little bit.
But seriously, I was hiccuping at the end of last cast when we were talking, and I said, I am not a fish. I'm not a fish. I learned this from TikTok, so I'm going to be pissed if they ban it. And it worked. I was done, and then like a half hour later, the hiccups started, and then it didn't work.
Demonic Mango,
but it worked on my son.
Did he do it too?
It worked on my son. We were driving back on the weekend, and he started getting the hiccups. He was like, I got the hiccups. And I was like, you're not a fish. He's like, what? I was like, say it. And he's like, I'm not a fish. I'm like, say it again.
Say it. You're like yelling at him.
He was done with on a half block.
But no, that's what I was going to mention. Demonic Mango said, I still don't get that part. Are you saying you don't get that part of the paying the life kind of part of Magic, or the
I think so.
Fetches and all that stuff?
The same difference.
Yeah.
And so like, as here, you're gaining a bunch of life. And if you have an excess of life, you might be willing to pay the one to draw a card and lose a life, and like, just fucking try it out.
Right.
And then you start going, oh, drawing cards is good.
Yes.
That's maybe paying life is not that bad for these other things. Yeah, Sylvan Library is one of the most balanced fucking pay life cards ever.
4 life for a card.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of life.
It's a lot, but drawing cards good.
So
paying 1 to draw a card, not so bad.
So Demonic Mango, are you? You're saying the pain life part. Okay, I'm going to steal one thing from Arena when I used to play it back in the day, which I don't play it. I haven't played that for years. But remember, having 1 life and winning the game still wins you the game.
Good point.
You don't need to have 40 life and win the game to actually win the game. You could have 1 life and win the game. So using your life as a resource and use it to get the benefits from it. So that's why Sylvan Library is so nice. You're able to look at the top 3 cards, or you draw, not look at them. You're drawing the top 3, and then you can pay 4 life for each card beyond the first.
Here's the thing is, we're not necessarily saying use these commanders. They're concepts.
Yeah.
Find something that allows you to be comfortable playing with it, and then be able to play cards that can pay life or be defensive. That's the other part of this, is like kind of being defensive. Because in this deck that we built for your buddy, it was Ghostly Prison, Propaganda, and it was a lot of cards that made it hard to attack them.
Mm-hmm.
And that made it very simple for a new person. But we all know, like, Aloro can build into, I'm going to pay all this fucking life and have some good shit happen for me, even though I'm going down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the Toxic Deluge, and there's, and I have it in my Varric deck where I'm paying life. I can double that to have a secondary thing happen. And so having a deck for a new player and an old player, like paying life, it can be a lot of fun. But if you're a newer player, probably get into, if you're not used to it, build a deck that has you paying some life, not all the life, but some of the life.
Right.
Because there's like Lycia from a commander deck that's a commander that you're paying like 5 life to put counters on it. I would not suggest that one.
Well,
it's not a good enough benefit. Here,
well,
another thing that we didn't specify
mention is like a card that's really good, that's a newer card that people need to start playing more, and newer players probably stay away from it, is Black Market Connections. Like that card is ridiculous in any black deck. Like you have 3 options, and the first option is it drawing for 1 life, then it's 2 life, you get a treasure token, and then 3 life getting a 3/2 changeling. So it's any creature type. So it could be in a tribal deck, a zombie or whatever. A lot of times, every black deck that I put that in, I almost hit all 3 of those. Like I pay the 6 life and get those. But the one I would skip on the most is the creature. But there are a lot of times in my Braids deck,
if you're in
I'm paying all
deck,
3 because I want to sacrifice that creature to make everybody else like draw off of that or lose life.
Right. And I use it in Umbrus as a nightmare horror. And I make the treasure, draw the card. I pay 6 because I need all of it. And so like you're talking black is the
pay life,
the
for
color
benefits.
that's really, you got to be in that.
Yeah.
Right. To make it work. Because you're going to have the best benefits there. Timna's a really good example. Yep.
Which one's Timna?
It's colorless black white, and it's like a 2/2, but whenever you attack multiple players, you can pay like 3 life and draw 3 cards.
Yeah.
Great example.
But
and the card's fucking bonkers. It's
built in on it, so that
but you're not attacking with Timna. You're just attacking with fucking other creatures.
Life. Yeah.
You don't want Timna to die. I mean, you can. It's fine.
Jesus Christ, fine. She's $33.
Jesus. Yeah,
Crazy.
she's the first or second best partner beyond Thrasios.
Yeah,
Thrasios is so good too. But one of the parts that because the other thing that makes Aloro great is that it's the drawing cards for life. Because I think there's a part that people don't understand, and we've talked about it in our blueprint episodes, but drawing and ramp are the 2 most important parts of building your deck.
Right.
And so if you have a commander that utilizes that in some fashion, it's very good.
Yeah.
And we've already talked about it. When you're new and old, you also don't want to be going into that realm of, oh, I'm targeting that commander. It doesn't matter who you are.
Right.
That commander, fuck you.
Yeah. This
Corvold or Tulane or
this, you can't be targeted.
It's that's the best part.
Well, not be targeted, but you just leave it in your command zone and you're fine. It just sits there.
Yep. And so that's one of those things that you need to be conscious about when you're a new player, because you can sit down and be like, this Atraxa seems awesome. I'm going to put a ton of money into it. And then everybody goes, Atraxa is crazy. Let's fucking kill this guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you pick those kind of cards, that it gives you a target.
Yeah.
And so I think Aloro is a great in between.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with like Ishin might be a little. Ishin's really fucking borderline, and Blanca's really fucking borderline. But I think Chatterfang is really good.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next one.
All right. We're only at All right.
Yeah. I will say the one thing that I do notice when I'm not drinking is I'm more conscious of the time than I normally am. Because normally I'm like, we get done with the segment and I look back and I'm like, holy shit, it's already 2 hours. But right now I'm consciously like, all right, we're at this time. Let's try to do pace. I like being honest. I like the beer in the system so I don't have to look at the time. I like the not carrying them all the time. All right, so okay. The next one is Tatiova Benthic Druid. This is 3 colors, a green and a blue for a merfolk druid. 3/3 merfolk.
What are you from, Atlanta?
Merfolk. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life and you draw a card. Landfall. This is our landfall, baby. It's your favorite mechanic, even though you didn't draft it. You didn't draft it.
What do you mean? Huh?
I drafted landfall. I sniped you because you picked.
Yeah, no.
You picked.
All right.
You picked Team Forest Walk.
You're right.
Okay, so
you're right.
This is your landfall guy. You play lands. That's what you do. It's a really good commander.
Right.
There's the easy way is you just build a deck that's green blue, build a little bit of landfall around it. You're gaining life. You're drawing cards when you play your lands. But when you start playing and start adding in your fetches or even the bad fetches, if you use Evolving Wilds and, the Terramorphic Expanses, then you're able to do more than draw more than one. And then also if you start playing with more multiple land drops with your, what am I trying to say? Oracle. God, I need to be drinking. Oracle of Moldiah? No, Oracle of Moldiah. Like your multiple land drops.
Oracle of Moldiah.
Maybe
that's what they call me at the strip club.
This also could be ones that you play from your graveyard, your lands from your graveyard. So you're playing because you're in the right colors. You have green, so you can utilize a
Crucible of Worlds, and that not gonna tell you what it is.
But yeah, you have now like 4 green cards that allow you to play from your graveyard. So there's a lot more that you could do.
Right.
Degenerate stuff or more advanced stuff of playing from the graveyard or drawing more stuff off of that. So this has a lot of different angles you could use this deck for. And is she cheap? Yeah, you can get her for 25 cents at this point. I mean, it's a cheap commander and it's
2 color.
Yep.
Easier on the mana, easier on the budget. And like we were saying before, like teaches about the land, make sure that you're playing your lands.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be ramp, just playing your lands each turn and then drawing cards. And it hopefully shows those new players. It's crazy.
Drawing and we're playing lands and getting a benefit from it. I should go get more of that. Let's go get Kadama's Reach. Let's go get Cult of
right. And as an older player, like you're saying, you just go in, you're like
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. They just fucking go off.
Yeah. This is you could build around.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun to draw cards.
And you're gaining life off of it too. So that's the other part.
You're gaining life. Just draw cards.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you're draw and gaining life. Like you got both of those. You got the deep and then the high pitch. So I don't know if there was much more I wanted. It's pretty straightforward.
This is probably the more linear deck that we're talking about. That's what I was gonna say.
Here. There isn't much more I want to talk about with this one because it's just like the newer player is gonna do it. They're probably not gonna go for fetch stuff. Maybe they realize using evolving. That might be the realization is that the evolving wilds. Oh shit! I played this. I get to draw and gain a life. Now I'm sacrificing getting another land, and I get to draw and gain a life there. Oh, those are really good cards to use. Maybe I should get more of those. So it might introduce them into fetches in a way, seeing how good those
the
are.
Best land type.
Yeah. And so what or it didn't pop up on your side yet, but Demonic Mango said Tatiota is a new player's gateway commander to some Omnath bullshit.
I have some Omnath bullshit.
Yeah,
for sure.
And Renshai, he did agree. So Tatiova is great for new players, very straightforward, a lot of great inexpensive cards in Simic colors, which is also true.
True.
So
True.
All right, let's move on to the last one that we have here, and it is Lathril. Are you able to see this? I've read all of them. Do you want to read this one? Can you see it?
Right? It doesn't matter. 2 and a black and a green elf noble. It's a 2/3 menace. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens. And then you can tap it, tap 10 untapped elves you control. Each opponent loses 10 life and you gain 10 life.
That's pretty sweet.
Why are we talking about this one?
Well, this is our like ultimate like tribal commander. I think this is the one out of the 6 that is most tribal.
It's very tribal.
Yeah, like Chatterfang is pretty tribal, but you could do different angles with that one. This one I would say is you're pretty straightforward going elf tribal with this. I did when we were kind of talking about it beforehand. I think there is another angle you could do. You could almost do this one as a Voltron because it is based off of this dealing damage. So if you can get the power up, and it already has menace, so it has a little bit of evasion built in on it. But if you can get the power up and make it so it either untaps or has vigilance, you attack in, you make all those elf tokens. They're now blockers. You wait till it's about to be your turn. You tap 10 of them. Boom, everybody loses 10 life. You're also doing commander damage, so you're also getting a player down. So it kind of has that Blanca effect a little bit. But you have all these, you have 10 fucking elves that are out. They're at least 1/1s. So you have all that power back on the board. You're a very big threat. And if somebody does a board wipe in response, you tap them and you're doing 10 damage to everybody and gaining 10.
Right.
So there's a lot built in on it. And elves are very good at ramping. They're just a really good, in my opinion, the best tribe to use for beginning players because you get the ramp built in on it. Whereas like goblins, they're goblins. You're just direct damage, whatever. You're very glass cannon type of thing where you can get killed pretty easily, but you can very much overwhelm or overrun somebody.
Right. And I think the part here is like elf ball is ramp.
Mm-hmm.
And we already talked about like Tatiova, but Tatiova doesn't have to be ramp.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about like making your land drops each turn.
Yeah.
And so there is a difference between the two, right? Like you want both, but if you're in ramp, you don't necessarily care about your land drops.
Right.
And so like ramp becomes really important. And then when you play a Lathril or an elf deck, you learn real quick that I'm running out of cards. I'm not able to play. And so I need there's a byproduct,
balance.
maybe but you need to be able to draw enough cards.
Right.
Number 2, this deck is tribal, which is a thing within Commander. And number 3 is this deck allows you to have reach. You don't have to attack with it. And so you can just tap 10 untapped elves and everybody loses 10, you gain 10. And so like those kind of things are really good when it comes to long-term growth, is understanding not everybody has to kill by combat damage. And we kind of flirted with that idea with like Blanca, and we haven't really touched upon like combo, which is very real and very much out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not something that we deal with, so we're not going to talk about, but it's something that you can do.
Right.
And all of these, the thing is once you become experienced enough, if combo is something that you want to do, then you're going to do it.
Have that built in, or not built in, but you can do that with a lot of these. Yeah.
And so like bringing it up.
Why do you have like
you can do it.
the disappointed, like if you want to do combo, you can do, it's like the disappointed dad reaction. I mean, we're trying to have you guys go this. If you want, that's a good point. I was just like how you presented
it's just something that we are like as people.
Get off of it, Renshai. Prosh is really good about killing without combat. I get it. Your Prosh is just like Lowry's Calamax.
You got it. You got it. Right. Calamax is good. I agree with you, man. And all right, I mean, Prosh, whatever. And so I think there is a little bit of an evolution, but it doesn't have to be there, right? You can win as fast as you want if that's something that you enjoy. Once you get to that point, then that's something that you enjoy when you get to that point.
Right. So that is a good point right there. What you're saying is, so early on in Commander, one of the better commanders was the elf general that gives, what's his name? It gives all your elves 1+1, but then it also taps for each elf you have in play. Isn't that, what is his name?
That's not a legend though.
Oh, it isn't legend? He's just in the deck.
No.
But what I'm trying to get at there is, in that type of deck, you're just playing elves and you're getting the benefit of like Well-Wisher and all the other elves that matter about other elves. And you just get bigger and bigger. And then eventually you kill everybody. That's how you can start this deck out, is just playing elves. And then you're like, oh shit, I guess I have 10 of them out here. I'll also tap and do 10 damage to every. So it can start with it just building, playing elves in the tribal part.
It half forces that next step.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. And Magda does not suck. Get out of there, Renshai. Well, it is a target. It is everything against what is about this whole list. So we are not talking about
it is
everything against.
We talked about that as well. I think I brought that up. Like, Magda's not a good fit for this discussion. I think it's the
anti of this discussion.
Right. If you're in a newer player group, like, nobody's going to like Magda. I don't have, in our group, we have a really strong mix. To whereas, like, I understand why we don't potentially like Magda and why it is targeted.
Right. And
I find it very interesting the way you build decks, but
is that a shot?
No, I've already taken my shots.
No. But wait. There we go. I know where some of my buttons are without even like.
I deserve that.
It felt like a shot. That was now the gloves are on.
No. So here's
no, the funny thing
maybe it's a shot if you want to take it like that, but I think you're a stronger person than that. Right. But here, so like with you building two focus, like 2 color and 1 color decks, those tend to be probably better for newer players.
What are you calling me? No, I'm just kidding.
A noob.
Oh,
not true. But no, like, there are multiple different layers of being an experienced player. Like, it can come with deck building, it can come with playing,
gameplay,
and it can come with maturing in how you play. Right. So, like, you can be really good at playing and just fucking be optimal at all times. And then there's the part of, you know what, we can have this happen. And maybe that comes with like the counterspell aspect and seeing what will happen, but you can do that without counterspells too.
So, I think I know what you're getting at with Magda though. Like, I don't play it very often, not because everybody else hates it. It hits that avenue of what we talked about a little bit ago, is because I can tutor up for anything in the whole deck, because that's what the commander does. It becomes very repetitive of how the deck is winning. And so,
linear.
Yep. This is typically what I go to get. This is typically whatever. But the one part I will say that is kind of fun about it is because it is a target. I play it very different than trying to win. It's more defense. How do I respond to everything getting wiped? This is what I'm going to do. And then eventually try to win. So it's in reaction to everybody else coming at it. And so it's a very different way of playing it now. So that's part of why I do occasionally play. 'Cause then it's like, okay, now it's not I'm always going for the win. It's more of how do I not die? What is the option in my deck that keeps me alive in this deck because I can tutor for almost anything?
And here's the thing, like this is part of the problem because this is technically the end of the segment at this point.
Right.
We're just like
We just have voting to go to after that.
Technically, I like that term. We're talking about technicalities at this point. So when we were talking about like your Tolsmir deck, where you're like, this isn't really a thing. I don't like this deck, but I don't think as a newer player, I would not suggest Tolsmir, which is a wolf tribal fighting fucking gain life deck. It's all over the place. But when you're playing it as an experienced player, like once you get going, it's like fucking you can't stop it. It's a ridiculous deck. But I wouldn't hand that off to a newer player. And that was where when we were talking about this segment, I thought, Tolsmir was one of them that came to my head, and it's hard to categorize that deck and that commander. Like as a Tolsmir deck, you could just be wolf tribal, but that's not really what you are.
Right.
But you are, and they're again getting into those nuances as an experienced player. It comes in with the deck building. You know what you built and how you want to play it, which is a bit like how Urtet is your new Planeswalker / Mer deck. And the difference between the two. And so you can't just hand those decks off to new players. And that's how I kind of wanted this segment to go a little bit. And I think we did a good job of
balancing,
encompassing a lot of ideas here.
Well, I mean, we talked for an hour. The segment went for an hour.
And so you can sit down and build these decks, I think, for you as an experienced player and still be conscious of handing it off to a new player, which is not something that I have.
Right.
And I've already said that. I don't have any decks that I can just hand off to somebody new.
And I have one. I don't think I'm pretty sure Laurel might still be there, but I don't think it is.
I think it's a really good thing to do. I think it's a good thing to have, and I'm a hypocrite, and that's fine. I accept that at times. But at the same time, like there are things that you want to be able to grow with, to experience with, and that's a great thing. That puzzle that I talk about with my son is I really enjoy Magic because there are thousands of pieces that can fit in here, and you can X-nay whatever you want when it comes to playability, but you can also just fucking put whatever card in that you want to have and make it work.
I hope that's what you want. I hope you swore when you explained it to him.
I didn't.
And I have to add something. I'm a little impressed that you started with that analogy and ended with that analogy with four shots in. That's
in the middle of talking that I was like, oh, I'm fucking good.
I killed it there. Oh, I was impressed. Like internally, I was like, whoa, like that was 4 shots of Malord. Jeez, I'm not even mad. I'm
that's
impressed.
A good spot to end.
Yeah,
right?
No, I don't want to say anything more. We just end it there.
Right.
All right. We need to get.
I want to end with the best button ever.
Hello, boobies.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way. But we still have to do the tournament results, and then we are all done. Where do I have the tournament?
See, this is how I know that is not. It's not you.
It's
when it comes to. It's me. Because when we had when I was like, I can't fucking talk. I got fucking stuff going on. It fucking hurts.
We had
a clean episode. Clean. And with me being drunk and you sober, we're gonna be at 2 hours.
Yeah. We have figured out the culprit. All right, let's get to this.
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
All right, I just stop it there. I will make a new button for that because we do need one because we're going to continue the tournament. So it's
fine.
We had the final four. It's kind of fitting that this all worked out to be in March Madness. All that stuff's going on at this point.
We did not plan that.
No, we did not. And so we had these four, the top four going against each other. We had number 1 pick Chromatic Lantern going against Lowry's number 12 pick Cursed Mirror. And on the other side of the bracket, we had our number 2 Lowry's choice of Basalt Monolith going against my number 3 pick. So 1, 2, and 3 were in the final four. Relic of Legends. Our first matchup, like I mentioned, was Chromatic against Cursed Mirror, number 1 against a number 12 seed. Cursed Mirror made its way all the way to the semifinals by beating Decanter, Inspiring Statuary, cheating Inspiring Statuary, and that's how it made it here.
And Chromatic Lantern it beat.
Well, and Chromatic beat Border Post, which was an easy one there. That was our biggest blowout we've ever had.
Wow.
Against Midnight Clock, and then it is here against Cursed Mirror. Where do you think this shook out to make it to the finals? Who made it there?
I mean, I don't know percentages. I think Lantern won potentially handily. That's all I got.
This is our biggest blowout with Chromatic Lantern. You were right, 63% of the votes. So that moves on to the finals. Woo!
That's not good.
That's not good. All right, and then we had our second matchup, which was number 2, like I mentioned before, Basalt Monolith going against number 3, Relic of Legends. So Relic of Legends is a rather new card, and it made it to the semifinals. Its path to get there was beating up on Strixhaven Stadium, the Stadium Strixhaven won. It beat up Commander Sphere. That was a pretty close one and made its way there. And then Basalt Monolith took down Honor Worn Power Stone and took down Skyclave Relic. Where do you think this one shook up? Number 2 against number 3. Like this is
obviously it was close from what you're saying, but I'm gonna say it was still like high 50s on Basalt Monoliths.
Well, you will be surprised. It's actually the low 50s. 54% for Basalt Monolith won that. So number 2, Basalt Monolith goes against number 1, Chromatic Lantern in the finals. So it's basically, do you like playing a 3-drop mana rock that helps you fix your mana and all that stuff? Or do you like to be a degenerate Basalt Monolith combo player? Like that's where it is.
Fair.
It's kind of crazy though. Our number 1 and number 2 picks made it to the finals. Actually, 1, 2, and 3.
I did not expect that to really happen.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Okay, so
I agree.
That is the voting for this
Relic was a stretch. Relic was a stretch. You know that was a bad shot.
What? Relic?
Yeah.
It made it to the semifinals.
It shouldn't have. It's not that good. It's not Inspiring Statuary.
It got there. Well, let's see. 73% of the votes. 73% of the votes in round 1. 59% of the votes in round against Commander Sphere. Like it didn't go.
Can I regret talking shit? Because I gotta go pee.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys can vote for this on YouTube. You can vote for this if you're a part of the Discord, and you can vote for this on Twitter. On YouTube, it is under the community tab. We will announce the winner next week on Monday. Remember, next week we are live. Monday we are live on Friday. We have a Commander game on Sunday this week. Lowry is also live on Thursday doing Spotlight. So, and look out for the proxy time with the triomes and all that stuff. That'll be out this week. That should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
I love boobs. I'm talking tatas. I love
Can I go, or
boobs.
do we
I'm
got to
talking
cheers?
Cheers. Come on, cheers.
love boobs. Thanks for the memories.
I love boobs. Huzzah.
Bye.
Thanks for joining, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you.